Yeah, nigga, we made it. Triggers, we bust. God, I trust. More money, more itch. Get the bitch running up, boy, give me. 8-figure dreams, nigga, pockets on pick. See me at the light, drop top in the BO. Fresh gotta come correct, nigga, like a CO. We know.
When times get tough, you need to get proud. No need to look backward, put your feet on the ground. Stand up, stand up.
Welcome to The Fallen State. I am Jesse Lee Peterson. Thank you so much for being with me. Don't forget that The Fallen State is on locals.com. So hit the tab and the link in the description to support our work. I have with me NatStar. He's a musician, producer, and songwriter who has toured throughout the United States and around the world. Thank you for coming, man.
Thank you for having me. Appreciate it.
I was surprised. I thought you look young, but you're old.
I am old, but I'm young.
You might say how old you are?
Yeah, I'm 40. I just turned 40 last month.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, happy belated birthday.
Appreciate it.
So why you look so young?
I don't know. Life is good, man.
Black don't crack.
Black don't crack.
None of your black cracked at all, man.
Hey, look, I got good genes, and my perspective on life. I just, I try to live with gratitude, appreciate every day, and just, not stress out too much, not let too many things bother me. Kind of stay in the middle.
Right on.
So
you've been married before and have kids and everything?
Twice.
You've been married twice?
Been married twice.
What?
Yeah. Shout out to my daughters, 19, Jada, Sky, 14, London, 9.
So you had kids by both wives?
No. So my 19-year-old wasn't with the marriage.
Oh, okay.
I was young.
Right.
And with my first wife, I had my younger 2 daughters.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Why did you get married twice? Why once wasn't enough?
Once. Well, look, what I'm doing now has been pretty much my passion all my life is music, and I grew up in North Carolina, a state that's not really necessarily musical, but not connected enough to what I need to make my dreams happen. And so I've been there pretty much the majority of my life. And so when I got married the first time, our situation was pretty cool. Like, she was a model, I'm a hip hop artist. So we both share the same kind of passion. And I think over time, once we had kids and we got settled in and it became like a family structure, you start to kind of lose that edge a little bit. And then once I realized it, I'm like, I don't think this is going in the direction that I need to go. So it, eventually kind of came to the end. We had to split out, go separate ways. And
So you fired her?
I don't want to say that, man. Let's say I fired. I'll be PC and just say we had to go our separate ways.
Amazing. Did she obey you?
Obey? What would you say obey? Jeez, like, sit. Stay. Nah, it's not like that. Like, we was
Can you make
cool.
sure your phone is off?
My phone? Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
Sorry about that.
No, you good.
Did she obey you?
I'm not gonna use that word obey, sir. I think
Why
that's
not?
great. Cause it's like, the way I look at it is like, if I'm with someone, it's not, I don't look at it like a hierarchy situation. It's
You
like,
don't?
no, I don't. I think we're partners, or in the type of relationship or the type of woman that I want. We're equal. We just have our roles. You know what I mean?
So why marry a woman that's not going to obey?
Why marry a woman that's not going to obey?
Yeah.
I say it like this. If I give an order and the order is fair, or if the order is, obviously she's okay, she'll do it. It's not like she's gonna bucket everything I say.
Right.
But it's when I immediately think obey, it's like, all right, whatever I say you do type. Nah, I'm not.
Really?
I don't operate like that.
But a woman need a man to make her obey.
Explain.
Women need men because they're under men, right?
You believe, that's how you believe?
No, that's how it is.
Okay.
And if it doesn't work like that, then the woman become lost and irritated, and she develop a love-hate relationship for you. She loves you, but she hates you. She loves the control she has over you because you're weak, right? But she hates the fact that she can control you. She needs to be controlled.
I'll ask you this. All right.
What
So
do you think about that?
No, I'll respond to that, but I ask you one question. So, would you, based off of the fact that I've been married twice and divorced twice, attribute it to possibly my theory on, how I think?
They had a love-hate relationship for you because you see them as being
What if
partners.
they realize that they can't control you? Well, they know because they know at the end of the day I can't be controlled.
Good.
They know that.
Yeah, that's good.
You
but
know what I mean?
didn't control them.
What do you
They
mean?
needed to be controlled.
Are you married? Been married?
I've been married, but I have kids, and I have
Okay.
grandkids, and I have great-grandkids.
Okay. How long were you married?
I've lived with women, but never married.
Never married.
I did it the black way,
Okay.
out of wedlock.
Wait, say that one more time. Yeah, this is fun.
I did it the black way, out of wedlock.
Out of wedlock. I got you.
That's the black way, right?
He's from Alabama. That's interesting, though.
Yeah.
That's interesting. The reason because my father, rest in peace. We all grew up in the church. I don't know if you know how it is in the
Mama.
South. We grow up. You go to church. That's what it is. So my dad, and this may explain me getting married twice as well. But my grandfather was the type. You got that girl pregnant, you gonna marry that girl.
Right.
And
Absolutely.
so that's what happened. And so my dad was married 3 times. My mother passed his second marriage. But his first marriage wasn't supposed to happen. And he got it on both sides. So my sister's grandparents kept her because they told her mom that until you marry him, he's with us. She's with us. So they both were kind of backed up against the wall. So he made the move. Obviously, it didn't last. They got divorced. Fast forward, my mom, they got together. My mom passed, but I seen my dad, and so I look up to my father. That's my superhero. So when I see him in a situation which he's in a marriage, and I'm like, well, that's what I'm supposed to do. If I say, this is the person I love, and this is the person I think I want to be with. Now, mind you, I'm only 25 at the time.
Yeah.
I think this is who I want to be with.
I know what you mean.
But I do what I see my dad do. This is what all of my family members are doing. Like, I guess this is what I'm supposed to do.
Was your wife older than you or younger?
She was older than me by
I knew that.
4 years.
Whoa, you married your
4 or
mama.
5 years. She acted like it. You
She
can cut
acted
that
like
out.
it?
You can edit that one out.
She acted like it? Yeah.
Tried to.
Yeah, they all do.
Tried to.
Yeah. And so no wonder she wouldn't obey you. She older than you. She your mama.
She obeyed.
No.
She obeyed. She
did.
obeyed. I said I'm done. And look, I'm fair. This is not to even slight anybody that I've been with or anything like that. She's a great woman. We've been through what we've been through. We had our kids together. I just say at the end of the day, there's 2 things that's happening. Outside of tradition, there's just a certain type of woman that I want. And so I go into that situation thinking, okay, she might be because of these traits, right? And when over time you discover that either they weren't that woman,
right,
or things changed because they got comfortable. And I'll say this about women typically.
They're evil.
It can be.
Yeah.
We got a whole nother, we have to do a part 2 for the evil part.
Yeah.
Because I got stories about that. Anyway, they want to be, they want to be loved on. They want to be taken care of. They want to be protected. That's just kind of a natural woman thing, and I'm cool with that. I understand that. But the type of woman that I want is a partner, not somebody I just give a credit card to, and she's sitting at home, not chilling, doing stuff around the house. They're not chilling, but not actively out working and out, Somebody that I'm looking for is somebody that I feel like is is like I said, like a partner.
Were your second wife older or younger?
She was younger
Oh,
by
okay.
like a year.
Did she control you too?
Nah.
But she
But
wouldn't.
she tried. But it didn't.
She wouldn't obey you either.
I'll just say she was less obedient than the first.
Yeah.
How about that?
Would you ever marry an older woman again?
I don't. That's a good question. I don't know. It depends. It depends on, you know. At this point, look, and this might be a weird perspective, but I was saying this off camera just a few minutes ago. It's really your journey is your next, you know. If the next person, it's like, okay, I still want this person. If they can consistently be that person and never change and never drop off, then we good. That'll be the one.
You probably won't ever get married again then.
That's the
Because
case.
that ain't gonna happen.
That's a hard one.
Yeah.
I realized that. I had 2 shots at it. They say 3 times the charm, maybe. I don't know.
Were you surprised to find out how evil they were, your wives?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially the first one.
Yeah.
I didn't realize like how like they can go from really being very innocent and
That's how they
sweet
treat
and
you.
brittle, and then you turn around and you're not seeing your kids for months.
Yeah.
I've been there.
Yeah. Your father went through the same thing with women. He went through the exact same thing.
He didn't go through as much as I went through.
But you don't know. I bet you if you talk to him,
Possibly
he's like, son,
he did.
yes, I did.
Possibly
Nothing
he
new
did.
under the sun.
Yeah, no, I know. I'll say this. He definitely went through a portion of it, but what I went through when I got that divorce, that was hell.
Yeah.
The first one.
Yeah. Amazing, huh?
Huh?
That's amazing.
I don't even want to use. That's a good word. I can't associate a good word with that bullshit. Oh, excuse me, my bad. Nah, that was like you said. That's when I discovered how evil women can get, like for real.
Are you? What's important to you? To you personally, what's important?
In a relationship.
Period in life.
Period in life.
Yeah, to you.
Right now, to be honest with you, peace of mind has been the most important thing to me.
Yeah. Do you have peace of mind?
Yeah, I have more peace of mind now than I've had in years.
And why do you? How did you finally get more peace of mind?
I decided one day that I needed to focus on myself.
Yeah.
Like I said, I turned 40. I did the math. I'm like, man, I've been in a relationship for 18 of the last 20 years.
Yeah.
So it's like,
what a mess.
So for the first time in my older adult life, I finally said, you know what? It's time for me to just take a step back and focus on what I need for me.
Right.
Once I made that move, I started developing a peace of mind because now I can kind of move on my own. I don't have to worry about, who I don't have to check in with nobody. Like,
nice.
I can take my time for me. I can, make my own, decisions and stuff like that. So,
Are you a Christian?
I'm not nothing. I'm not anything.
You're not nothing?
Not nothing. I'm not religious.
You're not religious? Oh, okay.
I grew up Baptist. I just kind of have my own, own beliefs, and I try not to step on nobody else's toes. I just believe God is everything. God is great.
So you believe they're in God, but you're just not religion.
Exactly.
And what made you decide not to be nothing?
Because it's just too muddy. If you want my honest opinion, it's too muddy. It's a lot of truths, and it's a lot of lies and everything.
Yeah.
And so I developed my own relationship with God. I still have values from my, Christian upbringing that I hold on to.
Right on.
I'm a keyboard player. I grew up playing in church, but I did a lot of traveling and, spoke to a lot of people, seen a lot of different, practices, and I'm aware of several different religions, and it just continues to get more and more muddy. So I just kind of say, you know, I'm not going to label myself anything.
Both your wives were black.
Mm-hmm.
And would you marry a white woman?
Yeah, she cool. There's some fine white women out there.
There's some fine white women?
Yeah. Yeah, she bad and she cool and she don't stress me out. And she like on her grind too. Yeah, of course.
Do you have anger?
Me? Oh, yeah.
You have anger?
Yeah.
And
I can.
And why do you have it? Why don't you let it go?
Do I have, so when you say do I have anger, like towards women or just period?
No, period. In life, do you have anger inside of you, period?
I don't have a lot. I'll say I haven't had much lately since, you know, since I've developed a peace of mind. I've changed my perspective on a lot of things.
Yeah.
So now, you know, I can let things go a lot easier because I try not to hold on to any anger.
Do you believe it's possible to live without anger, period, no matter what situation you're in?
That's a good question.
You cannot be angry about
That's
it?
a really good question because I'm gonna tell you that's an important question because I still get pissed off about shit, right? and then I beat myself up for getting pissed off about it, and I'm like, I told myself I wouldn't get angry, but then what you're saying also brings up another perspective. Like, is it even possible not to get pissed off?
Yep.
You believe it?
I know it.
Then I need to learn from you, my man.
So you would like to live a life, if that's possible,
Without anger?
getting ticked off?
Absolutely.
Okay, it is possible. And you know how? You got to forgive. Forgive your mother for turning you away from your father, and forgive your father for not protecting you from her. And God will forgive you, and he'll take your mother's spirit away from you and give you his spirit, which is a perfect love.
Wow.
And in perfect love, there is no anger. You speak up, you deal with stuff, but you never be bothered by it at all.
It was my stepmom that I have to forgive.
Well, forgive her. You need to forgive her. You need to say, hey, stepmom, I'm sorry for resenting you for screwing up my life.
I could do it. I could say just that too. I might have to write that down.
Yeah, because she couldn't help herself. She hated her mother. She hated your father. She hated her life. And so she passed it on to you.
It's a shame.
So, and any man that has anger has the identity of the woman. He think and feel like a woman because it's abnormal for a man to be angry. It's not his normal state of being. So women, mothers and stepmothers and grandmothers create the children in her image by turning them away from the father.
That's interesting.
So you got to forgive your grandmother, your stepmother.
Yeah.
Will you do that?
Of course.
Yeah. And don't ask for forgiveness. God will forgive you because women don't forgive.
It don't feel like it.
Yeah. And then you'll be, because you're a rapper, you're going to be running into a lot of more stuff out there in the world.
Yeah, for sure.
And so if you don't have anger, the spirit of anger is evil. It's the nature of the devil.
Yeah.
And it works the mind and emotion. It makes you think something, and then you feel good. And then as soon as you feel good, it makes you think something bad. Now you feel bad. So you're up and down. But once God take the spirit of anger away from you, which is the identity of the woman, you will never be emotional. You will not be up or down. No one can make you feel good or bad. And you will have a perfect life.
That's interesting.
Let me know how it goes.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I definitely will.
And so how did you get into rapping? You seem kind of quiet to be a rapper.
Yeah, I'm different. I'm a different beast on stage, but... You are? Yeah. I turn it on, flip
Oh, yeah, I saw a couple of your videos.
Yeah, I appreciate it, hopefully.
Yeah.
So I started, so my father, just a little bit of history. When my mother passed away.
How old were you when she had started?
I was 5.
Oh, you were 5 years old? Man, no wonder you went through hell with stepmother.
Yeah. And all that I heard about her was just great things about her and my dad's relationship, so I know that kind of had to linger.
Parents they should never bring step people into the lives of their children. If one parent is gone, the father or the mother should not get involved with anyone until those kids, if they gotta have someone until they're grown, because kids need both parents, but when you bring someone in the middle, that person try to get the father attention or the mother attention, and the kids feel left out totally. And they yearn for their father, so they hate the step parent because it's not their real parent. they cannot even identify with it.
That depends.
And so when parents do that, they're selfish.
It depends. I'll say this. There's a good and bad. I look at anything that's bad can have good and vice versa, good and bad or whatever. So the same person that I may have had a rocky relationship, I can also say, you know what? I can also pull from my toughness from that person, because even though I might have been seeking nurturing, I got toughness. I could lack in nurturing. That's not good, but I can also be stronger in my strength, especially like street smarts or awareness and things like that. I can credit even the same person that I didn't necessarily like them like that growing up, but I credit them also for making me stronger, right? So to respond to what you're saying, it depends on how those parents approach the kids. At the end of the day, like, I've been a stepdad, right? I was a stepdad in my second marriage.
I'm sorry to hear that.
But I've been a stepdad, and
but those kids didn't like you.
They love me.
No, they wanted their real daddy.
They love me.
They did?
They love me.
You knew how to treat them?
Listen, I'll say this. I'm still approving their apps.
How old are they now?
9, 10, and 11.
So you didn't come between them and their mother?
Not at all.
Good.
That's why I said it's all about your approach, right?
Yeah.
I approach the situation knowing, okay, they have their dad. He's very active. He's a preacher, you know. So
what a mess.
That's another story. So I'm not trying to be their dad. I'm just with their mom,
right.
And when they're with us, my role is just that. I'm not your dad, and I'm establishing that so that they don't ever have to feel like I'm gonna be authoritative in their dad role. It's not happening. That's gonna be on your mom. My role is gonna be pretty much on the side, and I'm the cool guy. If you need something, you know, whatever the case is. So it depends. So my experience was different, you know, like than, let's say, like their experience, or I've seen several different experiences. The thing is, the mom or the dad still got lives to live. I was 5 when my dad passed away, so I can't.
Were your dad passed?
I mean, I'm sorry, when my mom passed away,
Yeah.
so my dad raised me, obviously, just me and him. I personally would feel like crap if I knew that my dad suppressed his potential for even being in something that could be beneficial for him. When it came to, you know, my stepmom, she just was who she was, whether she was right or wrong for him, that's who he married. But if I would have known, let's say, 13 years of him being single, and then all of a sudden he might be in a position where he can't find nobody, or somewhere within those 13 years he knew that there was somebody, but he made the decision not to do it.
Nice.
That would weigh on my conscience, because
you'd be grateful though if he made that decision because he.
But he didn't. I'm saying.
If he had done it.
But he didn't make the decision because of what you're saying.
Not
he
because
shouldn't
of you.
remarry. You get what I'm saying? Like, because I'm in the picture.
Oh.
Him not bringing in a step parent, but thinking like she might have been the one, but I'm not gonna do it because this is my beliefs. You know. So I'm just throwing out another. You know.
So tell me about why did you become a rapper? Because you seem so even keyed and not like a loud, rowdy person. How did you become a rapper and why?
My dad was working for Atlantic Records when we moved back to my hometown, I was 5 or 6. And so I just started I was around music a lot. My uncle, he's a musician. He would come over. My dad and him built the studio in our basement. And so now I'm like 8, 9, 10 years old with a full studio, you know, in my basement. And so I was just constantly around music. And to date myself a little bit, when Dr. Dre, The Chronic came out, it was fascinating to me. And I just wanted to know how to make that.
Yeah.
And so I just started kind of playing around on a keyboard. And my dad bought me a keyboard for a professional keyboard for my 11th birthday.
Oh, nice.
And once I started learning how to produce, I started writing, and I fell in love with it, and I've just been doing it ever since.
So how many years you been rapping?
close to 30 years now.
Oh, yeah? Really?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I keep forgetting you're 40.
Yeah, I'm 40.
What the? Did you ever expect that you would turn out to be so successful with it, or are you surprised at the outcome?
I worked hard.
Yeah.
I've been really, really, really working hard. It's you know, it's been ups, you know, it's been down. I'm still going through ups and downs. You know, now it's, you know, there's never a point like where it's like, this is it. You know, you still got to keep going.
Yeah.
But I've been believing in myself since I started. You know, I never thought that failure would even be an option. So it's like, regardless of what the results are, number one, I love it. This is my passion. I'm gonna keep doing it, and I'm gonna keep getting better at it. And I mean, the odds are, if I keep getting better, then I'll just keep being more successful.
Right. Absolutely.
So
what's wrong with the blacks?
what? Break it down. What's wrong with you, bro? Oh, you talk about people. Okay, go ahead. My fault.
What's wrong with the blacks?
The blacks. You talk about the black people. Where? Blacks in the South, blacks in the West.
Black people, period.
Period. Okay.
They're like angry, violent, snack and grab.
They
blaming others.
Hold on.
Hating the white man.
They?
Not all, but most. What's wrong with them? Have you ever wondered that? You should make a rap song. What's wrong with the blacks?
No, I'm trying to get over they right now.
Huh?
I'm trying to get over they. Like, if this mug said, what's up with mugs, I would be like, you know, if this table said, man, what's up with all these tables? But you're a table. You're black.
What that mean?
You're saying they as if you're not a part of, you are a part of it.
No, not they. What's wrong with the blacks?
The blacks. or what's wrong with us, if you think it's just.
But you're not like them.
Who is them?
The blacks.
Who is the blacks? you gotta just tell me, and I can try to break it down as much as I can.
The ones that are robbing and stealing and blaming and burning down the country and blaming the white man, feel like a victim.
Okay.
What's wrong with them?
Okay, so what's wrong with black people that rob? What's wrong with black people
They have
that
a lot
are
of
angry?
anger.
All right. I'm gonna say us because
But you're not a part of it. Why would you include yourself in there?
I'm not a part of that particular group that you just named.
Right.
No. So if we're just gonna break down that particular group, that's fine. I'll say this. Me personally, I feel like it dates back to just not at a certain point where we were just not having the opportunities there for us long enough to where we developed that hate and we developed that anger over time.
What do you mean by that?
So if you got a rob, then 9 times out of 10 that means you feel like you don't, I'm not saying that it's true, but if you're in a position where you feel like you gotta rob somebody, it's probably because you feel like you don't have any opportunities to do anything.
But
right?
That's not true. They have the opportunity.
No, I'm not saying
you follow them home when they steal from the white man?
No,
and you follow them home in your car? They go to a nice house with TVs and everything in it. They just don't want to get up and get a job for some reason. Have you noticed that about them?
There's different sides of that. I understand what you're saying. I can see why you would look at it that way.
Do you agree with that?
I don't necessarily totally agree with that, but let me explain this. I don't agree with what they're doing. I'm saying I think what happens is it goes back. This dates back to like decades and decades of built up anger, built up coveting, built up.
But it skipped my generation and it skipped yours. We weren't like that.
I mean, we were. It's just it wasn't as broadcast.
No, I never stole. I never been to jail.
Me neither.
I never blamed the white
people.
man. Right. So it skipped our generation. So
because I got cousins that's like that right now. Like no, there's a thing to it. Like I said, I'm not saying, and I'm not even condoning it. But like I said, what I will say is it it dates back, like I said, to years and years and years of just oppression and
by their mothers and grandmothers?
No. Opportunities that we did not get.
But why can't they create their own opportunities? Just like any other man, you create your own opportunity. Why can't, rather than being mad and stealing from the man, why not create your own opportunity?
Because see, you can think that, right? I could think that because for whatever reason, our circumstances were different, which created our mindset. But you gotta understand, when these young men are surrounded in an environment that's not, it's almost like a fire. It's like a big fire that you just can't seem to put out. You don't have enough fire trucks because it permeates that entire community. And that stuff, that's what I'm saying, that dates back. So like if you think about just an impoverished neighborhood where these kids they think they don't have but so many opportunities, they're stuck kind of, it's like almost an invisible, it's like an invisible wall around them, and there's decades of that builds up over time. And if all they're being taught is the same thing over and over and over and over and over, and their parents not necessarily condone it, but are in it, if their family and everybody, all of their friends, everybody they know, that's the only world they know. So what happens is they either don't have access or don't have access. They have access. They're not seeking different because they don't know different. And then if anybody tries to change their mind to it, that's like if they know 100 people and 2 people are trying to tell them what's really good, they're outnumbered. And so that passes on to the next generation and to the next generation. And over time, you just have a bunch of people with these ideals, and then YouTube and the internet just feeds that because they're connecting to somebody on the other side of the country that grew up in the same kind of impoverished neighborhood that they did, and now they're connecting, and it spreads. That's why these young kids is out here doing this right now, because they're not like it. And I don't even know, I'm not even gonna say how to fix it, but I can just say they're not being fed what's good. Yeah. It's just all being fed the opposite.
So why don't you make a rap song, What's Wrong with the Blacks?
If I did, I just won't name it that. But to answer your question,
you get their attention, and then that'll start a conversation. Then you can help them.
I'll agree with you on that part. You'll definitely get the attention.
Right, so make a rap song, What's Wrong with the Blacks?
This guy. But listen,
will you do that?
I'll speak. I
bet you're gonna think about it now. What's wrong with the blacks?
I can't.
The solution, you can put the solution in the song.
Man, I'm gonna be honest with you.
The solution is they need to drop the anger.
Listen, that's like telling an alcoholic to stop drinking. This is anger is passed on from.
Yeah, and it's evil though.
I know. That's what I'm saying. The thing is, I wish I had a solution, because
that's the solution. They need to forgive their mothers and grandmothers, forgive their fathers, and they'll wake up. They'll be able to see, and life will change.
It's not.
It's the anger.
It's not that simple.
Why not? If they wanted to do it, it's simple. If you wanted to forgive, like you want to forgive your stepmother now, so you'll be free. It's simple, and you'll be free.
Yeah, but you got to understand, how I grew up. You have to, with everything, you have to take history in account. It's like, all right, let's say you speaking to a 25-year-old young black man right now that's in that same situation. He's got 25 years of data downloaded in his brain.
Right.
Like you saying, change this, can't subtract 25 years of anger.
I promise you it will. If they drop the anger,
I wish it was
the data will unload.
I wish it was that simple.
It will disappear. It really will. Make a song about it, and we'll talk about it to them.
I'll tell you what the title will be.
What's wrong with the blacks? So let me ask you, you made a song that says, you made an album called Better with Time. Mm-hmm. What does that mean?
It's just basically, the more I'm doing this, the better I get.
Right.
You know, and it's obviously kind of a play to like, hey, I'm this age, and I'm still doing this, and I'm still getting better and better and better with time.
Oh, okay. So are you like with a music company or that, or you do your own, produce and do your own music?
So I do everything. I got some producers, shout out OG Dosakis, and music therapist is two of the main producers on the album. And then I co-produced it, mixed it, wrote everything, recorded everything. I pretty much do everything on my own.
Have you ever been a slut maker?
A who?
A slut maker.
What's that?
You know, men that have sex with a lot of different women.
Yeah, I've been that guy.
You were a slut maker?
Yeah, I was that guy.
And you're no longer that?
Nah, really.
What made you stop?
Because I'm focused.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to stay focused. Is it fun? Of course.
Huh?
Women, I love women.
So what?
So I love women.
What?
I love women.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
That's why you correct them? Or that's why you slut them?
Next question. Nah, I've been that guy. I'm not that. Look,
Women looking to men to guide them,
of course.
not to slut them.
I mean, some of them looking. Some of them now though, they want that slut action though.
They do?
Oh, yeah.
That's what they say they want. Women are not as into sex as men are,
No, I know.
but they're like drug dealers. They're used to sex like drugs to hook you.
Mm-hmm.
But they prefer...
Oh, that happens all the time.
Yeah.
But they prefer to settle down.
They prefer you not to give in to them.
I'm actually dealing with some funny... It's funny you say that because I'm dealing with that right now.
You're dealing with what?
Somebody that's tripping because I ain't like paying them no attention like that.
Right.
But it happens.
Yeah, and the woman that's tripping because you're not playing her like that, she love you for that.
Of course.
But she'll try to act like she get mad at it.
Mm-hmm.
But when they say, "Oh, you don't love me, you don't treat me like you used to," you know, what they're saying is you don't let me control you like I used to.
That's a good point. That's an interesting point.
Isn't that something?
That's,
So let me ask, what was your impression of that radical group that's worse than the KKK, Black Lives Matter?
What is my impression of Black Lives Matter? Well, I say this: the group or just the movement, the whole thing.
The group, burning down the country, tearing down statues and flags.
You mean like they did Tulsa?
Yeah, like they did in Tulsa. They did it everywhere, right?
Yeah, no. You mean like you mean like the people did to the blacks in Tulsa, burning down the country. You talking about
Black Lives Matter tore down Tulsa too?
No. I'm not saying Black Lives Matter tore down Tulsa. I'm saying Americans, people burnt down Tulsa when Black Wall Street. You know about that?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Black Wall Street.
Yeah,
you know how they burnt Black Wall Street down? You talking about a little riot?
Yeah, a few blacks and white got mad.
No. What happened was,
did you know they rebuilt that? What, Black Wall Street?
Did they rebuild it recently?
Yeah.
How
no, they rebuilt it right after they.
Yeah, I heard they built it like on like the land of a bunch of them that died.
And they rebuilt it, and then black people rebuilt it. Did you know that?
I didn't know that.
Yeah. They leave that part out because they don't want you to know that. They want to make you angry.
Well, why did we have to rebuild it though?
Because that's what black people did in those days. They were very independent.
Of course, but we could have just built it and we didn't have to rebuild it if it never got burnt down.
So what
they were dropping bombs from the sky.
No, they weren't, man.
Oh, man.
No.
No, go ahead.
What? Did you watch Uncle Tom, the movie?
I haven't, but
watch Uncle Tom.
You in the movie? You're in the movie, right?
1 and 2.
I saw that when I Googled you.
Yeah, it's gonna tell you about Black Lives, about
Uncle Tom 1 and 2. I'll watch it.
It's gonna tell you about Wall Street.
I'll watch it.
And so, what did you think about that radical group that's worse than the KKK?
I'm
Black
not
Lives
gonna call
Matter.
them a radical group, and the KKK is pretty awful.
And they're worse. Black Lives Matter is worse.
Why you think? Do you think the Panthers were worse than KKK?
The Black Panther?
Yeah.
When I was growing up, they were in Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
And I would go from Alabama to Gary to visit my family.
Mm-hmm.
They would not, as a teenager, they would not allow me to go over to Chicago because of the Black Panther.
Really?
Because they were killing people, according to what I heard. And they were hurting blacks, and everybody was a mess. So the black people were afraid of them.
You know, history is funny. Like history tells you different things. I've never heard
I know
that
it lies
perspective.
to you.
Not always. There's some lies.
And they lie to you because they want to control you, brainwash you. Did you know that the worst thing that happened to the blacks was not slavery, was not Jim Crow, was not so-called systemic racism, but it was the civil rights movement?
Why do you think?
Because the blacks turned their lives over to them, the so-called leaders of that.
The leaders of
the civil rights movement,
like the Martin Luther King,
Jesse Jackson, and other people, because prior to that, blacks thought and did for themselves. But when the civil rights movement started, a lot of them, but not the older blacks, just the little crazy young ones, they turned their lives over to the civil rights people, and they gave them welfare checks and told them to join the Democratic Party. And blacks stopped thinking for themselves, and they never turned around. It was the worst thing that ever happened.
So you can look at that both ways as well, right? So
no,
this
there's one way.
This is the way I see it, right? I agree, blacks were doing for themselves.
Yeah.
However, and we can probably both agree to this, the opportunities during those days don't even touch the opportunities that we have nowadays. And basically what I'm saying is, it's like, even from slavery all up through Jim Crow and you know, let's say from the emancipation through Jim Crow all the way up to the you just said it, the
civil rights movement.
Civil rights movement. I'll just ask you to imagine growing through that time and how hard you.
I grew up on a plantation in Alabama, near Tuskegee, under the Jim Crow law.
Your family, did you, give me your family dynamic. You had your mom, you had your dad?
Yeah, I was raised pretty much by my grandparents, though, because my father got my mother pregnant because he did it the black way, too.
No, that happens.
And she got mad because they didn't get married, so she married my stepfather because those days you had to be married. And they moved to Indiana, so I stayed in Alabama with my grandparents because I didn't want to go to Indiana. And so I was raised by them.
Okay.
And we were raised on a farm. We picked cotton. We planted. Have you ever picked cotton?
Never.
You never? Man, you have not lived until you pick cotton. Make a song about that.
I can't.
Let
me ask you this. What shaped your mentality, before I go into what I was going to say, what shaped your mentality to how you think?
My grandparents, they never blamed anyone. They never thought that they could not make it or make it.
Right.
They did what they did. They did very well. They taught all of us to be the same way.
Right.
And so I grew up and I left home at 18. I never thought I wasn't going to make it in life or make it.
Right.
I never not had a job. I bought a house when I was young. I never thought that way like the blacks think today.
So your path went,
and it was hell. I went through hell, especially when I moved out here from Alabama.
Yeah.
But I never thought of going back home or blaming someone.
I understand that, and I because I'm the same way. I don't blame anybody for anything. For me, where I'm at in my life is a series of choices.
That's right.
That I made.
Yeah.
But at the same time,
that's why we need the song "What's Wrong with the Blacks."
I'm not going.
So we can have this conversation with them.
I'm not going to name. But let me say this. I'll say this at the same token, even in my situation, because like right now I'm going through not only a divorce but a business that I had to bankrupt.
Right.
The reality, and this is, for me, this is unrefutable. The reality is that we don't have the same opportunities.
What do you mean?
We don't have that. As
I don't even know what that means to have the same opportunity. What is the same
opportunities?
Do you give me an example of the same?
Do you believe success is totally due to hard work? Or do you believe in other elements on top of success?
That's a really good question, man. Yeah. Right on. There's no such thing as success.
Okay, break it down.
And there's no such thing as failure. It's just an idea, just a thought. And all thoughts are all lies all the time. No such thing as a true thought. So if you think success, now you got to try to make success happen. When do you have success? Where does it end? And if you think failure, now you're going to feel like a failure. Where does that end? It's just a thought.
It's just a thought, right?
It's not even real.
That's interesting.
And then it makes you want to compare yourself to others
Right.
and have what others have or don't have what others have. It's just an idea. You got to stop listening to thoughts, because all thoughts are all lies all the time. No such thing as a true thought. But if you just live your life
Right.
and just live.
But even with living your life, I'll say even if you take success out of it and just say, all right, this is what I'm in this time frame. This is what I want during this time, this season in my life.
Right.
I want to be able to do this and do it well. Take success out of the picture.
Right, and just do it.
And just do it. But not only, obviously decisions, and that's why I said it goes back. It goes back to, like, my father didn't teach me how to be an entrepreneur. I had to learn.
Me
nobody.
too.
Yeah, nobody.
I learned how to be an entrepreneur on my own, but
Yeah.
it came naturally because I didn't compare myself to anyone. I
Right.
didn't try to be like anyone.
Right.
I didn't think of being a failure.
Right.
And so I've had 2 companies that did very well
Yeah.
because I just did it. I didn't.
Yeah.
Every day I did a little bit at a time. Never stressed about it. Never worried about it.
Yeah.
Just did what was in front of me.
Listen.
That's amazing. Huh?
I'll say this. Everybody kind of has their, me and you, we are what we are, right?
What we
you
are.
say the blacks, you say we black African American, but your story
We're not
is different
African.
than mine.
We're just black Americans.
Black African Americans,
Right.
whatever you want to call it. But our stories are different.
Right.
Your path guided you a certain way. I say, I believe it's either Michael Jordan or LeBron James. One of the two are the greatest, but they say Michael Jordan couldn't necessarily be the best coach because he was such a great player, right? And he's, Lord forgive me, but he's not really that good of an owner. I'm from Charlotte.
He's not good of an owner?
Nah,
Is
but he was a
dead
great
or
player.
something? Is he still living?
Who, Michael Jordan?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, living great.
But why you
Rich.
say, Lord, forgive me?
Because I didn't want to be mean to somebody as great as Michael Jordan.
Oh, is he up there?
Nah, that's just how they look at him.
Oh,
They used to
they
call
do?
him Black Jesus, yeah.
Oh, they did? Like they call Barack Obama the fallen Messiah.
I don't call him that. I just call him Barack Obama.
Me too.
Yeah.
But listen, do you believe me when I say there's no such thing as success or failure? It's just an idea, just a word.
I see your perspective from
It makes sense.
But then you can also say
Does that make sense?
It does, but it can also, you can do it both ways. If you look at it macro, then that's perfect. Like, okay, I'm gonna just live my life and do what's right, make the right decisions and let the results be.
Right.
But then in between, if you go micro, then it's like, all right, I need to run 3 miles today. If I run 2.5, then I wasn't successful. I need to run 3 because
No,
that
not,
was.
if you didn't run 2 miles, it's not you weren't successful. You didn't run 2 miles.
Well, my
And so the next
goal
day
was
you'll
I
run 2 miles.
want to be successful in my micro goal, which is to run 3 miles.
And you know how to do that?
How?
Let go of the idea of goals. It's just an idea.
Well, then what do you have to look forward to then? Something.
Nothing.
Nothing.
And there's a way to live. Don't look forward to anything. Just live.
Just live. Just be.
Yeah. And if you don't look forward to anything, you'll never be disappointed.
You won't have any expectations.
Right. Get rid of all expectation, all plans, and just be.
Just be.
Let
Just
life
live.
happen. If you continue to just make your music,
Yeah.
don't try to be like Snoop Dogg
Never.
or Auntie Mama or anybody, right?
I can't with this guy.
And just do your music.
Yeah.
However it goes,
Yeah.
it'll be. You'll be one of the most, as you are, one of the most successful people in the world because you had no plan. You just did your thing.
I love it.
That makes sense?
I love it.
I got to ask because of time here.
Okay.
Is there such a thing as white supremacy?
The way that I look at it is like this. Like I said, opportunities. Like there are, if in the comparison scope, everybody just by nature of just living wants to feel like we're all equal. That's just the human human nature. We would love to be treated like treat those like, treat others like you want to be treated. That's just kind of and so in this country, I'll just say there are people, I believe, at the top that don't necessarily look like me, that are gonna all typically give, the opportunities first to somebody that looks like them. And so I look at it like if I flip it around, I was just gonna say,
all races do that.
If we flipped it
But that's
around,
not white. Oh, go ahead.
yeah, no, I was gonna say if it's flipped around, if the shoe's on the other foot, it's kind of a, it's a hush-hush no-brainer in a sense. It's like, hey, if my people are on, of course, I'm going to put my people on as well.
So is there such a thing as white supremacy?
I have a hard time with that word because, I don't know, black people might be mad at me just even for thinking this way, but I'm just really, I don't do color. I don't do that.
You know why the blacks think that there's white supremacy? You know why they think that?
Why?
Because they believe that the white people are superior to them. But we have a reason to believe that. But you don't believe that.
I don't believe that.
And they believe it because they are angry, they're judgmental, and that darkness is keeping them down.
But it's not
all. And then
all.
you got the so-called black leaders telling them that it's racism, that it's white supremacy. And so they're keeping the blacks angry, keeping them down, while they're getting what they want out of life. They're becoming mayors and governors and preachers, and they're using the black, they're lying to them. I used to think that about the civil rights movement, and then I started questioning, if white people are keeping me down because I'm black, how come they're not keeping the black people down who were saying it? Jesse Jackson and others, they were going to private schools, their kids had the best job.
Well,
the blacks are being lied to by other blacks.
That too. No,
I
won't refute that.
What's wrong with the blacks, man?
I can't. I'll say this, like, in the end, I mean, just like kind of what we're dealing with the Kanye situation and all of the uproar about the Jewish community and this, that, and the third. And I look at it like this. I don't necessarily like what Kanye's saying. I think he's reckless. And it's sad because I've been a fan I was a big fan from when he came out. I think he's a smart guy, but I just don't like how he's speaking on what he's speaking. But what I'll say about the Jewish community is like, look, at the end of the day, whatever they did to put themselves in position that they put themselves in, they did it. And it was tough. They had their tough situation with Holocaust, and we had slavery, and it's all messed up. There's nothing good about none of it. And I try to encourage myself to make sure that I keep the message to encourage my people to, like you say, remove the anger. I'm with you 1,000% on that. If we can start the process of healing, then we can also start the process of changing our perspective. 100%. The problem is we're not healing, and the more you go by unhealed, you're just gonna carry those traits and you're gonna pass those traits on.
That's why we need that song, man. What's wrong with the blacks?
But that's my thought. That's my thought.
Right.
On it. So we just need to be healed. I just pray to God that He heals our people in its entire. Just heal us.
I can talk to you all day, but time won't last. But let me ask, you made I saw a tweet where you thank God for a blunt. Yeah. Were you joking with God or something? You were playing?
Now, I listen.
Why are you thanking God for a blunt?
Because my relationship with God is like I would have a conversation with you. I smoke weed.
You smoke pot?
Yeah.
What the?
Yeah, I'm a weedhead.
And why do you smoke it? Not that I care either way, but why do you smoke it?
It's a calmer for I'm a real big creative, so I'm big on vibes, and it just kind of helps with my vibe, and once you get rid of the anger, once you face your stepmother, you forgive her. I forgive her now. I do forgive her,
right,
and I actually
you need to tell her though.
I do need to tell him.
Yeah, you need to tell him. You need to
him.
face it so you can get your courage back.
Yeah.
Amazing. So did you vote for the Great White Hope?
Who was the Great White Hope?
You know the Great
Donald
White
Trump?
Hope. Yeah, yes, I rest
No, I
my
didn't
case.
vote for Donald Trump.
How you know it was Donald Trump?
Because I already know your views.
Oh, yeah.
I think Donald Trump is crazy. I love his personality, but
Yeah.
I just think he is wild. He is wild. I don't think
Wild in what way?
He's just erratic, and to me, even I don't care if you white, black, yellow, or what. Just be studious as the president of this great nation. Like I've been.
Well, he is studious.
He is not. He's far from studious.
Wait until let me tell you. I'm gonna predict what's gonna happen to you.
Okay.
You're gonna go and forgive your grandmother and your stepmother.
Yeah.
Your whole personality gonna change. You're gonna start speaking your mind, but you won't hate anyone. You won't be
Okay.
mad. You won't
No,
take
I don't-
anything
I
personal.
don't hate him.
And the world gonna turn on you.
And that's okay.
That the same way they did with him.
That's fine.
I know,
don't-
but that's
yeah.
what's going on with him.
Listen, I don't live my life for the world, right?
Right.
I can get on Twitter and say my piece, say whatever, and people can say what they say. I respect everybody's opinion. Yet, I don't.
Right on.
We
Me
all
too.
make this world go around.
Whatever you want to think, fine. So listen, I got to put you on the hot seat.
Okay.
I got to heat this up and put you on the hot seat.
Oh.
And I need you to answer these questions as quickly as possible.
Gotcha.
The hot seat.
What is a man?
A person with a penis.
A person with a penis?
Mm-hmm.
Do we need more white babies?
What do you mean? We need. I don't know if we need more people or not. It's 8 billion people on this earth now. I say we good. We don't need no more babies.
We don't need more white babies?
We don't need no more babies, period.
Did you know I started White History Month?
What? When is that?
Every July, we celebrate White History Month. We just celebrate our 5th year this year.
What is it, like this big gathering?
Yeah, July. And I started.
Is it like a bunch of people come out? Like,
Yeah.
It's a cookout, but the food is terrible, ain't
We
it?
do it for the whole month.
Oh, okay.
And you know why I started in July?
Why?
Why it happens in July?
Why?
You gotta admit this. July just feels white.
Why? Because of July 4th?
July 4th, vacation time, summertime, relaxing time, reflection
Feels
time.
white?
Doesn't that feel white?
No. It's just hot. That's it.
Hot.
To me, it's just hot.
Hot is white. Okay, we gotta move
Oh
on.
my goodness.
Is the earth flat or
No,
round?
it's round.
What is love?
What is love? You know what? I don't know how to answer that question. I'm going through my second divorce.
Do you love white people?
I do. I love everybody.
Do you love white people? Mm-hmm. Tupac or Biggie?
Who? One for different reasons. If I'm chilling, Biggie. If I'm radical, Pop.
Drake or Kanye West?
Drake.
True or false? Abortion is worse than slavery.
False.
Did you take the jab?
The who?
The jab.
What's that?
The Chinese virus.
What's the
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 shot.
vaccine? Did I get vaccinated?
Yeah.
Yeah, I got vaccinated.
You did?
Yeah.
I'm stunned.
I got vaccinated.
You don't look like you would have done that, but I understand.
I didn't really care for it. I mean, if you want my honest opinion, I didn't really care for it, but I'm in California. California was one of the strictest states with that, and then I was doing a lot of traveling, so it was really more of a business decision.
Have you ever been high on the hog?
High on the hog? What's that?
You know, you never heard, growing up in South Carolina,
I've heard it, but I
like,
can't.
She tried to act high on the hog, like she almighty. Oh, he's
there's
better than someone.
there's a few people I'll say from my hometown that feel like I'd feel like that I'm that guy, but I'm really not that guy.
Okay. If you had a choice to vote, who would you vote for? The Great White Hope, Kamala Harris. That's her name, right?
Kamala. Kamala. I'm sorry.
Whatever. Big Mama Michelle or Joe Biden.
I'm voting Michelle all day.
You vote Michelle?
Yes. I'm voting Michelle Obama all day. I just love Michelle Obama. I just love Michelle Obama.
What do you love about her? What the?
I just love Michelle Obama. She's just so cool and just so.
Would you marry her? How would you like to be married to that one?
I respect Barack Obama too much to answer that question, sir.
Okay. Did the bear shit in the woods?
Huh? What?
Did the bear shit in the woods?
Yeah, we just didn't smell it.
Did you have fun?
I did.
Thank you for coming on, man.
Thank you for having me.
It was amazing.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Tell the folks how to get your music, whatever you want to promote.
So you can search me on any streaming platform at NatStar, NatStar, and on social media, it's Nat So Cold, Instagram, Twitter, everywhere.
Amazing. Thank you all for tuning in. I absolutely appreciate it. Don't forget that the TheFallenState is on locals.com, right? So hit the link in the description there. Check out our merch and look out for the song, the rap song, What Is Wrong with the Blacks?
Not by NatStar.
Coming to your neighborhood soon. Thank you all. Let me hear from you. That's amazing.
Man, I had fun.
Me too.
I had fun. Thank you for having me, bro.
You were absolutely what? Anytime too, man.
Oh yeah, for sure. Anytime.